Rick Beato recently uploaded a video titled Why Gen Z Doesn't Care About Music, and in this video he essentially outlines his reasoning as to why Generation Z doesn't really gravitate to music the same way that music gravitated to his generation, maybe earlier generations. He essentially says that it boils down to a main thing, which is that music is not interesting anymore in the same way that it used to be, for a couple reasons. One, there's no visual element to music, which makes it fairly boring for people to actually listen to. So, because the kids of today have grown up with video games, according to him, and video games have a visual element to it, as well as an auditory element to it as well, it makes it more engaging and more interesting. And so, kids want to emulate more of streamers, more of gamers, instead of actually wanting to emulate musicians, guitarists, what have you. And two, Rick says that there's basically a group of people writing popular music instead of just the artists themselves writing popular music, thereby making the music a little bit less interesting and a little bit more like focus group driven. That's just my own words there. But essentially saying that, artists are not writing their own music, but it's teams of people who are writing the music for them or with them. And so this essentially is leading to music becoming a little bit more homogenized, a little bit more boring than what music of the past was. Now, while I generally agree with these points because they are valid, I think there are more important reasons why people are not gravitating to music the same way that older generations have. Starting out with the number one thing, which is copyright on YouTube and other platforms. So when you're talking about streamers and YouTubers and things of that nature, what music do you normally hear when you think about these popular, very famous, very big people? You hear generic kind of background music that doesn't get copyrighted. If you have copyrighted music in your videos get flagged or taken down or just flat out demonetized completely because you're using someone else's copyrighted music. And so, a lot of times when you see videos on YouTube or you watch streamers, you don't hear copyrighted music because the people don't want to get demonetized. So when you have a generation of people watching YouTube videos, because let's face it, YouTube and Twitch are the new TV for a lot of people, a lot of younger people. They are growing up listening to music that is not copyrighted. So you can't blame the generation for not gravitating towards music when there's no music in their medium that they consumed content from. There's no artists that get platformed. There's no engagement with music because there's a fear that copyright will be coming to affect them and take down their videos. So if you have a platform of videos with no music that you can gravitate towards, people are just not going to have interest in it. Another reason why I think that people in Gen Z are not really giving a shit about music is that the medium to listen to music has changed. The fact is, we have things like Spotify and Apple Music and YouTube Music and things like that where you can actually go ahead and stream the music instantaneously. There's no need for you to sit down, play this audio thing like a vinyl or a cassette or anything like that. You disengage from the medium because of how easy it is to play the music in general. So there's something lost in translation when you're going from something physical that you have to pay attention to change the side or press play or do this and do that. It just becomes something that's not physical. It's not tangible. There's nothing behind it that keeps people interested in saying, okay, I spent the money on this physical good that I enjoy and like a lot. And it's music that I enjoyed so much that I went and spent money on this thing. That doesn't really exist in the same way that it used to. I mean, granted, there are still, pressing plants to make vinyl. There's still cassettes being made. There's still CDs being made. But it's the minority, and it's not the majority. The majority is using streaming services, and because it's convenient, and that just makes the most sense. I mean, why wouldn't you do it if you can access every song imaginable? But then also, that leads to another problem, is that if you have access to every song imaginable, what do you choose? A third reason why I think that music isn't gravitating the same way to Gen Z as it does to other generations is because of music video access. Music videos were on TV. They were on channels like MTV, VH1. They were on TV where you can actually go ahead and access music videos that you didn't have to pick, but were just available to you. This sort of thing doesn't really exist anymore. I mean, granted, again, there are platforms where this does occur, but one, people don't watch TV anymore. They go onto YouTube. And the only way to find music is for you to actively search for the music videos that are out there currently. I mean, you can do playlists and you can kind of have the YouTube algorithm pick stuff for you, but then it's the YouTube algorithm and it's very specialized to what you want. It isn't going to, branch out to other styles, other genres necessarily if you don't actively search for it yourself. And then how do you search for something new when you don't actively search for it yourself? That's the problem. So people don't have like new music videos coming out that they could just turn on a thing and then have it play for them. They have to actively engage with it, and then that leads to its own set of problems because there's YouTube. You have every video that you can possibly imagine. So if you're having to sit there and just watch a video and listen to a song only, then engagement is going to be a little bit less. And granted, when you look at these music videos, they are very popular and you can watch them on YouTube, but there's a different feeling to it when you click on the video and then sit there and watch the video and listen to the music. It's a different environment, it's a different thing entirely. Versus when you would turn on the TV, you didn't necessarily know what songs were playing, and then something new will jump at you, and then you'll hear it and you'll be like, whoa, what the hell was that? It might not even be the genre that you went for, but if the song is good, then you went for it. And then you can make the claim that, these video stations that were playing these songs and these music videos were, picked by people. They were handpicked by certain, music conglomerates and labels and things like that. But again, at the same time, it's Gen Z who's not engaged with the music now. And there's got to be a reason why. And what is that reason? That's what this video is kind of trying to explore. And so that could be an avenue as to why people don't care about music as much anymore. So these are reasons why I think that music doesn't resonate with Gen Z as much as it maybe did for other generations. And granted, I am a millennial, so, I have my own set of issues to deal with, but music is something special and should be enjoyed by all. And if it's background noise, then it's background noise. And if it's music that you focus on, then you focus on the music. If it's something that engages you and catches your ear, you should pay attention to it and listen to it. It's a really special thing. So I hope that, people do listen to it in the future and be interested in what music can do for people. But other than that, thank you so much for checking out the video. Hopefully you go ahead and like, subscribe, do the normal things that you do for YouTube videos and this and that. Gen Z, you guys are great, honestly. I'm responding to what Rick said was a boomer yelling into the cloud type of situation. It isn't necessarily that. There is some truth behind it. I wanted to provide my own reasoning as to why I also think that there's a disconnect with music with younger people. But other than that, thank you so much, and hopefully you have a good rest of your day. Peace out, peeps.